Namah Shri Shankarananda. Salutations to Sri Shankarananda. The Master is saluting his own Master. Why? Where he is saluting to the lotus feet of the Master, but why? Symbolically, it means I keep aside all my preferences, busyness, duality, and a conflict in order to why I do it. Guru Padam Bhujjanmane Savilasasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmani. Basic message is to reveal that knowledge which removes the delusion. And we think, today I attended, tomorrow I did not, next day I am very busy. So it means the mind is not purified, mind is not committed. Will it work? Let us try. See that if it works for you, it's good. If it doesn't work, it means you already know. So the great delusion is removed. Why? When we open to the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. When we open to the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, that is what the satsang is. We can open the eyes and pay attention. What means? Satsang gives the knowledge. Today, I will just summarize few of the future verses. So you can see the topic is how we think, speak, and act in the awakened state, and what exactly is this awakened state, so that I can bring, I can merge what we are learning in a series will make a sense. So come back to the satsang. Satsang gives knowledge. And the knowledge does nothing. Light. Does this light created my computer? Does the light created a virtual session? No. Light is not there, I don't see it. I don't see. Neither the computer nor you guys. And you also don't see me. So it means that knowledge is a revealer. What is that? That is the goal of the satsang, company of the truth. So it's a little different meaning than we do it in Mondays and Thursdays session. So the masters are saying something and we are thinking something. Awakening is not to be attained, but it is revealed here and now. Why it is revealed? It is already present. Computer is already present. Light is not there, so I don't see it. So, what is that? What I don't see is real. What I see is not real. So, knowledge is revealed to see what is real. What happens to the unreal, it dissolves. You enter into a dark room, now light is on, you see the chairs, cushion, bed, computer, and other stuff. Does not mean that the light created them. Light is like a knowledge. Knowledge does not create anything. Knowledge destroys the ignorance and the delusion. So it means, what it means, are you thinking in the same line? That it means that real self is already here and now. Yes, it is here and now. It is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Yes. So it is revealed. That is the goal of the satsang. That is the goal of the satsang. So just pay attention and see that whether your mind accepts completely or not. So I will just summarize the first chapter, which contains about hundreds of verses. So just imagine, just think and reflect that where the Master is helping us to reveal that knowledge. So it would be a little bit dry and mathematical, but don't worry about it. You already have the basics. What is real self? We say the real self is Satchidanand. It is absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. It is like the electricity which is pervading everywhere, or that powers everything. What are the five elements? It is the hardware components. What are the three gunas? It is an operating system. What are the sense organs? It is the input devices. Input devices. You receive inputs: keyboard, mouse, camera, microphone. I'm just trying to be very clear at the physical, subtle, and the causal level. What about the motor organs? Output devices. You have a screen, speakers, and printer. What is mind? Mind is the RAM. What is intellect? It is the CPU. Processing plus viveka, the discernment and dispassion works here. What is ego? Ego is the user interface. Do you see me? Yes. Do I see you? Yes. No. I see your image and you see my image. That is our. But when I say I see you, you see me, that is your ego. That is my ego. So what is the real self? The user that I don't see. The user who operates the computer, but it is not the computer. For ego, I see you through my eyes, body. So if I have the body, then I have the mind also. Then there is a cause of the mind also. I have a memory also behind that. Look at it. So am I living with that awareness all the time? It is an awakening state. I know it is an user interface. Ego is user interface. Ego is not going anywhere. Complete human being. See another metaphor. You are like a magnificent temple with the multiple levels, each serving a specific function, all built from the same fundamental material and housing the same divine presence. What are the five elements? It is the earth, water, air, fire, the building blocks. What are the three gunas? The energetic forces that shape and animate. Satoguna, if it says Satoguna conceives the brick, Rajoguna creates the brick, and it is settled in Tamoguna. Then I have this house. Then I have this body. When you live into that state of awareness, it is something extraordinary. So what is the functional level? You have a functional level at the physical level, senses, motor organ. What are the subtle layer? Subtle layer is the mind, intellect, and the ego. What is the causal level? Ignorance, past impression, and also it contains the seed of the higher consciousness. So I started today's journey with the knowledge. Satsang gives you the knowledge, and the knowledge is not the doer. Knowledge is the illuminator. Knowledge is the revealer. By doer, you can be successful. Doer, you can earn money. That is why we do the satsang. We should not miss anyone. Why is understanding this matters for the awakened living? It is the problem of misidentification. Most of us suffering comes from identifying exclusively either with the physical level or with the subtle level or with the causal level. No, I want to know a little deeper. Yes? Let us, that is why today's lesson I'm summarizing the first chapter. So we have understood the physical layer. What about the physical instruments? So now see that physical instrument, it has a connection at the subtler level. It also has a connection at the causal level. 5 sense organs. Now let us go a little deeper. Take an example of the eye, sight. Which element is associated? Fire. Out of the 5 elements. What do you say? Ether, air, fire, water, and earth. That is the progression. So eyesight is my sight when I see you in the presence of the fire. Fire enables perception of light. Fire is not color in the form. What is the function? It receives the visual information. It is an instrument. It is not you. Now, so what is the role of Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna? Satoguna is there, you see, fire element, which enables the physical eye to see light, to see the form and the shape. Now, what about the 3 gunas? If there is a Satoguna, I have a clear vision. I see the beauty and the truth. I see you are cute and beautiful. Satoguna. What about the Rajoguna? I constantly demand the visual stimulation. Means I'm running after, I'm attached. So cute and beautiful Satoguna is okay, I accept and acknowledge. But here I'm craving for it. I need only the knowledge. Why mind? Why you are craving? Comparison. What about the Tamoguna? You have a dull vision. You see only the surface appearance. That is where the sensuality comes. What do we need? Knowledge. Do we need to do anything? No. I have to recognize that Tamo and the Rajoguna has a deluded vision. Satoguna has a real vision. Take an example only of one sense organ. What is the awakened understanding? What you have to do? No, I have to do nothing. I am not my eyes. Simple. Can I live into that awareness? I'm not my eyes, but the consciousness that sees through the eyes. I am that consciousness that sees through the eyes. I am the light by which the light is known. But there are many questions we are going to resolve. So I'm just giving a blueprint. Take an example of ears. Ears related to space. Enables perception of sound vibrations and also the silence. There is no sound, there is a sound. Space. What is the function? Auditory. So what is the Satoguna? I hear the truth, enjoy the sacred sounds, listening with the presence. So what happens when the Rajoguna dominates? Craving pleasant sound. That is why I repeat the song of singers again and again and again, craving pleasant sounds, aversion to unpleasant ones, Rajoguna activity. What is Tamoguna? Ignoring important sounds. I oppose it. I will not do. Today I am not feeling good. What is the awakened understanding? I am the awareness in which all sounds appear, into which they dissolve, they appear and they disappear. I stop speaking, everything disappears. Space is still the same. I am just talking today what is an awakened understanding, how that awakened guy thinks, speaks, and lives daily life with reference to the real self, 5 elements, 3 gunas, 3 bodies, 3 states. What about the nose? Nose is related to the earth element. Function, it's a chemical perception. What is chemical perception? Taste. No, sorry. Smell. So this nose definitely related to the smell. So what about the satoguna? Appreciation of natural fragrance, discernment of purity. And when it is rajoguna, attachment to pleasant smells. Rajoguna means, I'm attached to something and I'm detached to something. Tamoguna, dull sense of very dullness, sense of the smell, attraction to heavy or artificial sense. Oh, that is why I go and buy those scents from the store. I'm just saying, I'm just talking. Appreciation of a natural fragrance. Who does it? Mind. Mind in Satoguna, mind in Rajoguna, and attachment to the pleasant sense. Mind in also Rajoguna. Then I say I'm deluded. I met cute and beautiful girl. I invited her for a lunch. Now she did not respond to me. She stopped talking to me. It is all play of the 3 gunas, 5 elements, 3 states, 3 bodies. And that light, that real self is just enjoying as it is. Because I identify with them. I identify with all these, either one of the 3 elements, one of the 5 elements, one of the 3 gunas, one of the 5 sense organs, one of the 5 motor organs. Finished. Done. Delusion. Think. That is what the master says you have to think. So I am the one who knows the knowing of the smell. All fragrances are modifications of the mind. Nothing else. Same thing with the tongue. Same thing with the skin. And now come to you. I want to give a couple examples with the motor organs. Hands. We say in Sanskrit pani. What is the primary element of the hand? It is the fire, activity, power of transformation in the skill. So you said it is the sight. Yes, it was satoguna. Satoguna element of the fire is Satoguna element of the fire is I can see you. The Rajoguna element of the fire, activity. We are going to understand in detail. And what is the secondary element in the hand is the air, dexterity and movement. Like the air moves. What is the function? Grasping, creating, giving. So where I say these tools for service and creative expression, not identification. Finished. No, but you have to talk about the Satoguna. Yes. Satoguna, did you understand? Satoguna, hence, activity is done by the fire with the Rajoguna, with the air, and then the Satoguna. So when it lives in Satoguna, creative expression, healing, touch, selfless service, offering worship. So we observe people how you use your hands and feet and the eyes. So we understand where you stand for. So you might have seen that, oh, they read the mind of others. No, it's a gossip. Rajoguna, grasping, accumulating, aggressive actions. Rajoguna. Tamas, Tamoguna, destructive actions, laziness, stealing, violent behavior. Violent behavior. Sometimes we see that. That is the entire composition of why we are studying five elements, three gunas, three bodies, three states. It is because of this, so that I understand clearly. I see it. I experience what is happening. I experience what is happening, and then I recognize that I'm not the doer. I'm simply the knower. I'm the real self. That is why we need to study. Take another example of the feet. Feet is known as the pada. So, what is the primary element? Primary element is the earth, grounding and stability. And what is the secondary element? Is the air, because movement is there, movement in direction. And where it moves into the space. Now come to the three gunas. Walking mindfully, satoguna. When? All the time. Whether you are going to the restroom or whether you are coming here to attend this session. Walking mindfully, so means you keep the feet in satoguna only. Rajas, restless wandering. Fidgeting, fidgeting. Running towards desires, competitive movement. And what is tamoguna? Laziness, moving towards harmful places, aimless drifting. You can do the same thing with the walk, with the speech. Speech is another motor organs. Primary element, the space, speech, sound. Sound emerges from the space. What is the secondary element? Is still the air, because it has to be with the movement. Communication, manifestation through the sound. So what is the awakened use? Express the truth. What is real? Remain in the state of dispassion. Finished. What is that state? That is an awakened state. What about the three gunas? Satoguna, truthful speech, mantras, words that heal and inspire. Rajoguna, excessive talking, gossiping. I gave you the example. This lady sent an email that, today I felt that it is not a good idea to gossip with a glass of wine with my friend. She is a baby boomer. She is over 67 or 68. What happened in her mind? Satoguna. So I thought better to stop it. We are looking those revelations in you. And in Tamoguna, we already know harsh speech, silence. So Rajoguna, I'm attached, you are cute and beautiful. Now you don't respond, so harshness, harmful speech. Take an example of this genitals. Primary element is the water. It needs a flow. The semen or the egg has to flow. Secondary element is the earth. The semen solidifies, fertility, and the manifestation. We are taking one more motor organs. So now see that movement of the genitals in satoguna, reproduction, procreation. In Rajoguna, it is an obsession, lust, ego gratification. In Tamoguna, it is a sexual perversion, abuse, complete separation or indulgence. It is all play of the five elements, three gunas, three states, three bodies. So if I understand, oh, all my activities and good, bad, high, low, they are located in this nature, in this deluded nature which I claim as a real, drop it. By understanding. Finished. I'm not covering all the five motor organs. Now come to the mind. Primary element of the mind. What is that? Can you imagine? Can you think of it? Every one of the sense organ contains satoguna, sense perception, contains rajoguna, active motor organs. So the mind contains the satoguna of all the five elements. So if it contains the satoguna of five elements, then what? It can take over any sense organ. Mind says, I see you. Mind says, I taste this. Mind says that I feel the fragrance of this. So it means minds must contain all the qualities. What are the qualities? Satoguna of each sense organ. All the three gunas in constant flux. Even though dominantly it is satoguna, dominantly. But other three gunas are also present. What is the function? Thinking, feeling, imagining, remembering. So what is the primary element? Primary element is the space. You see, when I say be comfortable, close your eyes and focus on the space inside the forehead, mind aligns with it. Mind aligns with the space. Why? Primary element is this. You see, it is all play of the, again I'm repeating, five elements, three gunas, three bodies, three states. Behind that is the light. Light is independent of my room size, computers, articles, session, etc. Whether I give a lesson or I don't give, light remains as it is. Light does not change. Real self does not change. Everything is happening in a play. So Satoguna mind, clear thinking, emotional balance, intuitive insight, devotional feeling. You have to do nothing, my friend. They will reveal to you. Rajoguna, what it reveals: racing thoughts, emotional turbulence, desire and fears, mental restlessness. What if the mind continues to live in Satoguna? Do I have to worry about fear? No, there is no fear at all. Restlessness? No. What about the Tamoguna? Mental fog, depression, confusion, dullness, delusion, negative thinking. Look at it. This is what is the entire. So I'm aware. I am independent of any article present in this room. Am I not? In the presence of the light, in the presence of the real self, I am independent of the bodies, mind, senses, and that is that an awakened state? Yes. I am the stillness in which all mental movements rise and fall. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky of the consciousness. It is like the birds flying in the sky. Nothing happens to the sky. Now you see discernment and dispassion, property of the intellect, of the satoguna. So why primary element is what? The primary element in mind is all the five elements of the satoguna. And in the intellect also, intellect it is the agni, it is the fire, illumination and discernment. Whereas the secondary element is the akasha, the space will remain the same. What is the role? What is the function? Discernment and dispassion and decision making. Satoguna, clear. So you are clear. You are settled into discernment and dispassion. So when you are settled into discernment and dispassion, do you have a problem? No. Wisdom, intuitive knowing. So if you say that I have increased my intuitive faculty, you are wrong. It is already present. What is intellect plus satoguna? Rajoguna, intellectual pride. I know everything. We have a kind of pride. Overthinking. And tamoguna, poor judgment, intellectual laziness, wrong understanding. What about ego? All the five elements. So what is the ego? Typically it is Rajoguna, because ego cannot, Rajo and Tamoguna. But now if the ego moves to the Satoguna, it is transparent, serving as an instrument for expression. The same ego in Satoguna has a humility which we were talking on Mondays and Thursdays session. I think Dennis raised that question, so I'm making it very clear. Rajoguna, I am the doer. I did everything. I am awakened. You already know pride, competition, personal ambition. Tamoguna, I can't do anything. You had a brief of it. Brief. Not only brief. Synopsis of it. Even not synopsis. But just take an example. Morning awakening. Morning you are awakened, you woke up, and internally dominance of tamoguna. All elements are sluggish, eyes blurry, ears dull, taste flat, smell reduced, touch insensitive, motor organs, hands clumsy, feet heavy, speech slurred, elimination sluggish, constipation. Mind foggy thoughts, emotional heaviness, intellect poor decision. You wake up, you stand up from the bed and you fall down. Poor decision making. Confused. Ego identified with the tiredness. I'm very tired. Let me have one more hour of sleep. That will never get you rid of it. I'm just giving you a blueprint. I told you. Today, you understand. So, okay, mind, you're in Tamona. That's why you're feeling tired. Oh, let me move to the Rajoguna first. Awakened understanding. As Buddha used to, yes, all those awakened people has to do with this. But they do it internally. Nobody notices. Rajoguna. Where is Rajoguna? Fire element, sense organs. Fire element activating in the eyes, seeking stimulation. The moment I open my eyes, seeking stimulation. Have you seen some of the people keep the sensual images Uh, we keep the images of our master. First thing that we see our master. We already know your nature. What else you may talk of anything. Fire element activating in the eyes, seeking stimulation. Space opening in the ears, alerts to the sound. All elements becoming more active. They just want to rush. Motor organs, hands reaching for phone. What is the message? Feet restless. Speech becoming rapid. Mind racing thoughts. We are talking of an waking state if it is guided by the Rajoguna. But I am aware of it. That is the awakened state. I am aware it is Rajoguna. I am aware it is Tamoguna. Ego, goal-oriented thinking. Rajoguna, today I have to go to Stephen to get a contract money of $10,000. He promised me. That I think. I don't think of Mangalacharya. It will never come to you. Do try this. Ego, identifying with the roles, achievement, and busy, awfully busy. Now come to the Satoguna, the last one, Satoguna. All elements are balanced in sense organs. All elements are balanced in motor organs. We know balanced. We are fully aware, relaxed, calm, intuitive. Clarity is there, clear vision, attentive hearing, refined taste. Oh, what did you say, honey? I didn't hear you. Rajoguna or Tamoguna. I hear you. Mind, calm, focused, emotionally stable, intellect, discernment and dispassion. So when you have a discernment and dispassion, your mind is not rushing. You remember the Mangalacharan. Ego, Sadhuguna, serving the greater good. I believe you got some idea why we are studying three gunas, why we are understanding five elements, why we are trying to understand five sense organs, five motor organs, and three states, where is their permutation and combination. So we are caught in the webs of these expressions and we fall into the delusion. We cannot see what is the real self. There are a lot of subtle elements like the earth element. My grounding, I ground through the nose, feet in the elimination. Plumbing, 5-story house metaphor I'm giving you. Plumbing, water, flow through the tongue, reproductive organ, and emotional current. Are you getting it? Flow through the sensuality, reproductive organs. Flow through the tongue, taste. What I like, I'm eating. What I don't like, but I feel hungry, I will eat. I get rid of it. Why we are studying, I'm just giving you some idea why we are studying this electrical system with a metaphor. So electrical system, our perception through the eyes, hands also perception. It is soft and hard. Intellectual discernment. Ventilation is the air element. Your movement through the skin. We know air also breathes. When? 10,000 years ago. Not hardly 300 years ago by the science. Ventilation, our movement through the skin, feet, and mental breath. Mental, mind. Akasha, the space. Our expansiveness through the ears. Ah, what a good song. I am absorbed through the speech, through the consciousness itself. Who is doing all these expressions in the presence of the real self? So ultimately, I recognize I am the real self of the nature of. In India, we say I am the Satchidanand. And we go to the temple to Satchidanand Bhagwan ki Jai. We don't say Jai here inside. That is why we are studying these, the entire, it's a model, again, last thing, it is a model. So when you really understand, fully understand the model, you live into that awareness, you are free. You know how I am grounded. How do I eliminate what no longer serves? Through the skin, through the other organs. How is my emotional flow? It is the water element. Can I say water consciousness? Yes, reflected into the water. How clear is my vision? Not the vision with a number, eyesight. How clear is my vision? How bright is my discernment? Fire element. Air consciousness. How is my breath, life manifest? Space consciousness. How open is my listening? Then it becomes easy to deal with any challenges of your life. Let us open for a discussion. Who wants to take the lead? Ganesh, you want to take the lead?
Well, first of all, I appreciate analogy of the computer parts that you gave in the beginning. That was quite clear to me. And as far as the sense organs, motor organs, and the mind, as I understand it from today's lecture, we can explain these sense organs, motor organs, and the mind through the 5 elements and the gunas. And as I understand, the gunas in the mind act as a prism that refracts the input from the sense organs. So what I mean is that the perception that comes by the sense organ is neutral by itself. It is not colored. It is not pleasant or unpleasant. What the eye sees is doesn't have any label, doesn't have any pleasant or unpleasant sensation associated with it in the eye. But when it comes to the mind,
and the gunas,
then the gunas start their play, and depending on the combinations of these gunas, mind starts interpreting the input. So, like generally speaking, if sattva is dominant, then the input is interpreted as auspicious, naturally beautiful. When rajas is dominant, then the input is interpreted as either pleasant or unpleasant, and then the desire it comes about to either get attached to the pleasant or to avoid the unpleasant. And if tamas is dominant, then everything perceived as dull, unpleasant, harmful, etc. And the same thing happens with the motor organ, which is kind of the opposite way. So the hands and the all these motor organs, they are instruments. They are neither bad nor good. They just do what the mind orders to do, and the play of gunas in the mind determine what kind of actions will be taken by these motor organs, and again, depending on the different ratio of different gunas in the mind, the respective actions will be taken by the motor organs. But these, as far as I understand, these combinations of five elements and gunas, they create the ego. And that ego then claims that I am the doer and that I am, when in fact this ego is just a play of five elements and the gunas and nothing else. And when we recognize this fact that the ego is not real, not as real as it appears to be, then we see the separation between the ego and the I and the real I am.
Ego is, then the knowledge becomes the revealer. And what is that knowledge? Knowledge is consciousness. What is this consciousness? This is the real self. So when I say, I have lot of anxiety, means what? It is the just play of the ego, then the mind, perception, motor organs, five elements in three states. So Rajoguna is a mixture and Tamoguna has become little more. So your mind plays with that clarity because now you know it. That I cannot be into anxiety. I cannot move into reaction. So when I know, what happens? In the midst of an anger, you know that this anger is not you. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? Is that an awakened state? We are just questioning.
Evaporate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So whenever we feel I'm limited, I have a stress, I'm into anxiety, I enjoy the pleasure, you look at this cute and beautiful girl, Satoguna, has one perception, Rajoguna has another perception, Tamoguna has another perception. Sensuality. Now the same cute and beautiful image of the girl is declared as a goddess of wisdom, Saraswati. Ferocious picture, image of the goddess Kali. We say Kali, it is the goddess of the death. Is now that goddess of the death is also in the Satoguna. Why we have Eastern wisdom has done is to just, it says that you recognize all these. These are just the play outside. You are of the nature of the real self. Even in extreme stress, duality, and a conflict, if you realize and recognize you are the real self, you have done it. That is the goal. But again, Master says, knowledge is a revealer. Knowledge is not a doer. Anyone wants to say anything? So any moment where we are progressing to any moment You have an objection in the mind. So first you recognize it is the play of the gunas. So mind, what in which state you are? Are you in a state of satoguna? Yes, I'm in a. Oh, so it's a genuine doubt. Let me ask this teacher. It is coming from Rajun Tamoguna. Drop it. Our master always used to say that they wait for the right question from the seeker. We recognize it from where it is coming. So if you recognize from where it is coming, you will not ask, or you will ask the right question. Are you just even imagine, think, dream of it. I know each and every bit of what is happening. My thought, my speech, my action. Tone of my thought, speech, and action. Level of my thought, speech, and action. You know everything. You know everything, then you are in meditative state all the time. You are in meditation all the time. Do you see that? You are in a meditative state all the time. We take it care of mindfulness all the time, 24/7. Okay, we will take it later. You want to say anything, Terry? Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Did you minimize the Rajoguna activity of your eyes? Say yes or no. Yes means that you are aware of it. You know it. Also, again you are giving another interpretation of place, position and posture. Yes, I know only few. Great masters know many. Oh, so eyes are closed. You close the eyes to. So, did it also help the mind? Yes, it helped the mind because the mind is now aware of the space inside. So, did I change the direction of the mind also? Yes. By closing the eyes symbolically, my mind do not want to go to the objects of the senses. But why? Mind is also the house of all the five senses. So you are aware of the place in the mind. It is little typical, complex, subtle, but not difficult. I said you are aware of the place in your mind with reference to the perception of the five senses. And if you are, the body will not move. You will find the position in the posture. Being comfortable. Let us move what I used to give you in terms of instructions. I used to say, look at the neck joint. Means you change the direction. Be there, know and feel. Experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. Then I used to say, sensation and steadiness belongs to the body, comfort belongs to something deeper. Now, translate that with reference to your subtle understanding. I say, what I say? Look mentally at the neck joint. Look, fire element is working. Without the help of the eyes, is it present in the mind? Yes. If it is present in satoguna, discernment and dispassion. If it is present with rajoguna, Mind is still jumping here and there. And if it is present with the tamoguna, it will oppose knowledge. Mind is thinking, mind is somewhere else. Microscopic examination, but microscope of the Eastern wisdom, not this microscope. That can only find the COVID virus. It is subtler than that. So you do nothing. Knowledge is a revealer. You simply recognize the mind is in Rajoguna state, looking at the neck joint, Satoguna looking at the neck joint, Tamoguna looking at the neck joint. So if it is Satoguna, you are done. You experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And you recognize that very comfort, that very comfort is not the quality of the mind. It is coming from deep inside. But why you say it? Mind is made up of three gunas. Fluctuation is always possible. Now look at the breath. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Look at the breath, I said. Look at the breath. Intellect is listening. Satoguna. So it simply looks at the breath. It has no other job to do. Means Satoguna. Intellect has other job to do. It has to hold back other thoughts before it looks at the breath. Rajoguna. Intellect is dictated by the mind. Tamoguna. Tamoguna, what will happen? Nothing happened looking at the breath, so today nothing will happen. It does not mean that we all have a typical mindset. They changes, they fluctuate every day. They fluctuate every day. What it means? I know them. What? You know them? You are a knower? Yes. If you are a knower of the movement of the breath, you are in the state of mindfulness. What? Yes. Some gunas, permutation and combination, mind, intellect or ego, your perception in the past, impressions, triggers, create sensuality, creates opposite thought, and then the whole delusion starts playing with you, and you say, I failed in meditation, what should I do? Master says, do nothing. Knowledge reveals. Knowledge is not the doer. We forget it. Why we forget it? Because we are individual. What is individual? Consciousness plus Rajo and Tamoguna. Purely mathematical, I've been telling you. We use the model to solve the problems in the science. Why not solve the hard problem of consciousness? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question, you can ask. So, how are you, Stephen?
I'm good, thank you. There's a lot to take in. I understand everything with the elements and the gunas and principles of the Eastern wisdom. I've been bouncing back and forth between the first part of this and during my meditation of the fact that I recognize the two states that I exist in. When I'm alone, everything is quiet, and I'm in that meditation 24/7. And when it's exposed to outside influences, I understand and try to apply the Eastern wisdom aspects to it, but then amaguna kicks in, or ego kicks in, or whatever happens that I've been keyed in on your respond, don't react. But clearly reaction takes place. But as soon as reaction is done, I recognize it and everything dissolves. So is that heading in the right path? And at what point does the reaction stop?
Beautifully said. When I recognize means I know I am the knower, it dissolves. What the knower says, this is not you, simply it dissolves. So how long it will happen? Until we remove all our past impressions, until we live into the highest state of discernment and dispassion. Then what is that state? Can that state be called awakening? Let us reach that state and check. Why to ask anyone? Yes, Samir, you want to say something?
I think, sir, we activate our sense organs. They means we activate them with our desires, our past impressions, and if we are, there is two way of looking with through eyes. We can look with attachment and we can look without attachment also. It only depends on us. And mind is at peace all day, whatever we are doing. If it is our past impressions are not disturbing our sense organs. This is my personal experience. Means we stay away and watch my sense organs. I am not disturbed. I am involved with my sense organs and start them activating and doing unnecessary things. Then I get into trouble. It
Yes.
only depends on me.
Yes.
The way I handle these organs means I think so.
Yes. You are explaining what Stephen explained in a different way. That should be the right way to become a seeker. I recognize, so that I recognize my attachment, so that I is a satoguna. Look at it, that I is a satoguna with all the five elements, dominantly satoguna. Recognize here is an attachment. Now attachment drops, I-ness also drops. That is why I experience the peace. Both drops. Why both drop? Because I-ness is also a delusion. And so the attachment is also a delusion. What is left? Only the light of the consciousness, only the knower. So now from that you can draw a corollary. Oh, that is why we need to understand three gunas, five elements, their permutation combination, five sense organs, and their further division of three gunas, what element they are made up of, same thing with the five motor organs, same thing with the mind, intellect, and the ego. You are relaxed completely. Ego is in Satoguna. For example, ego is in Satoguna. Why don't you do it, Dennis? You have to do it. It appears it is shouting, but internally, because it is Satoguna, it is not the Rajoguna. It has more influence than ego in Rajo and Tamo. So should I use it? Yes, we have to, but until first we have to reach to that state. Yes, Dennis, you want to say?
The meditation was peaceful. The mind was on the breath, recognizing that the breath is the object and time the knower, and also aware of your voice and everything, but not associating with it. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful, yes. So the one principle I have been talking about, knower and the known, is revealed completely. It is opened up completely. Knower, only one. Known, endless. Rajoguna, knower and the known mess up with it. Knower and the Tamoguna, knower and the known mess up. Mess up means identification, means what attachment, means what delusion, means what ignorance. But why we have been doing it systematically earlier, we recognize it is not so easy to perceive clearly the knower and the known. It demands more explanation. That is what we are doing it. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mind was calm, and my understanding is like in ignorance, and when we don't know the knowledge, then we connect to our associate with our ego, which sees everything and relates with it. Like in every event, I see myself that I am there. But with today's knowledge and today's understanding and with Eastern wisdom, it takes every element of my life and segregates into different elements. Like there's three states, there are five elements and everything. And when I segregate everything in those areas, then there is no I remain in between them. Then I is not there. And then I see that when the I is not there, then the reaction coming out of that event is not there. And mind comes to its own state.
Beautifully said. When all the elements are segregated means not physically. I'm aware. My anger is due to Raju and Tamoguna. Because of my expectation, it is a play of the three gunas, five elements, my perception and the mind. Really? Then why am I angry? I is gone. Because if I is gone, who is angry? So anger will also go. And that is why we are studying this. Beautifully, yes, beautifully. I need you to articulate, contemplate, and reflect. When sitting alone and think, what's happening, mind? Where are you? Are you in Satoguna? Which motor organ is active? Okay, Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. You become so adept, proficient internally, you need not even to think, you just become aware, you know it, you know it. Yes, Terry, you want to share something today?
Well, see if the facility of speech will serve me. I feel like it's very complicated, but in the details. But at the same time, I feel happy
Yes.
and hope
Yes.
for the first time in a long time. So I don't know if I understand, but I think I got something basic extracted.
You are happy you have understood it. Because happiness is the nature of the real self. So you have understood it. Now see that if you break down any challenges of the body or the brain or the mind into these 5 elements, into these movements of the 3 gunas, into a different characteristics of the 3 gunas, the very existence of the I dissolves. And when the existence of the I dissolves, you don't see any difference between your state of the body and my state of the body. And from there, the happiness erupts. It is possible. 100% possible with these details. Can I live into that state? Yes. And when you live into that state, even for a week, I don't want to make a claim. We have to see whether you will continue to have a problem or not. So it's a higher level. We see some of those signs. That is all. Thank you very much for listening and understanding. Meet again.
Thank you.